Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the second episode ever of Brotherly Banter. My name is Juan. I'm one of your co-hosts. We're going to dive straight into it today on Week 2 slate of NFL football. I'm here with my two co-hosts and brothers, Jesus.
Hey, what up, y'all?
And my other brother here, Aldo.
Who that? It's me, Aldo.
And we're going to dive straight into NFL Week 2, okay? Let's go ahead and start off with first game of the week. We had Bills-Dolphins.
Thursday night football. That was a tragedy, man.
Thursday night. I wouldn't call it a tragedy, but...
Oh, man, it's sad. It's sad to see Tua go out like that a little bit. I know he said he's still going to play, but, man, I don't know, it's just sad to see him getting hurt like that.
Before we hop into the Tua situation, I want to talk about the Bills first. Bills look good. There was so much talk about, Stephon Diggs leaving, Bills not being able to score, and Bills are rocking right now. They're rolling. They're playing good without Stephon Diggs. Offense looks good.
Yeah, and that QB plays really well, right? Josh Allen is playing really good. So
he's playing so good.
I mean, did he really need, Diggs or?
But guess who's coming into it right now and there's this season starting with the Bills? James Cook. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's the Bills O-line or if James Cook just has some special sauce that he's taken. But oh my goodness, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, he had 11 for 78, 2 tutties. Then he had one on a catch too. I think it was like a 54. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like a 17-yard touchdown. So yeah, I mean, he's all they need. It seems like they don't really even use Kincaid. It was crazy.
I know. I was hoping they were going to use him a little bit more, but hey, it's working. Shakir, their wide receiver Shakir, he's getting some looks, getting some touches.
Yeah, he was 5 for 54.
What's that rookie's name? Keon Coleman. He did not.
Oh yeah, he didn't do nothing though.
Nothing, bro, nothing. And I really thought he was, honestly. I don't know, man. I thought he was going to have much more of an impact, but he's still young. He's still learning. I'm sure Josh Allen is going to spread the wealth a little bit. He's got to eat too, but Bills look good, man. Bills look really good. What do y'all think?
I mean, honestly, they look good. Their defense looks good. Everybody was talking like shit like that. Man, their defense isn't going to be as good because they lost a couple of pieces. But even, what is it? Von Miller, man, even he got in on the sack contest, man.
Well, they lost their big safety. What is his name? Pryor. What? He was a safety for the Bills, and now he's on the Dolphins. So that was like the matchup of one safety going from one team to the next, and they got destroyed, bro.
Yeah, and I was high on the Miami Dolphins. When we were going over Week 1, I thought that'd be one of the teams that we see at the end that might be playing for a chip, but I don't know. It didn't show that week against the Bills, 31-10.
I wouldn't say they're not, right? I like their offense. They have the weapons. I like Mike McDaniel as a head coach. I think he's a really good head coach.
Too.
But then you got to ask yourself, Tua went on IR. We'll dive a little bit into that later, but Tua went on IR today. They have to win the next 4 games. You go into October, late October, and you lose 4 or 5 games, you're probably not going to make the playoffs in the AFC. Let's be honest. So this year's one of those no QB years. Skylar Thompson is their backup.
Maybe
they're not going to do.
Maybe they can win like 1 or 2 games with Skylar, because the thing is, like, you can't. You want to try to bring somebody in, right, and try to get a couple of wins, but by the time they get
he's no
like
Cooper
simulated,
Rush.
by the time they get like simulated with the program, like Tua's already going to be coming back. So I can see them trying to ride out with Skylar and just try to win as many games they can without Tua. It's going to be ridiculous, but they can lean on their run game. Achane, man, what was it? 22 for 96. Plus he had that one tutty, man, for the catch. Man, he was nice. Yeah. And then, I mean, once they get Mozart back, they still got Tyreek that they can just hand him the ball.
They got weapons.
They got weapons. They'll figure it out.
Skylar Thompson isn't coming into a bum offense. They got weapons. If you got the fastest man in the league, you're going to be able to do something. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he is that QB that's going to hold him and keep him going. Skylar Thompson.
He's not that great. He's not that great. He's like.
And then you're saying Tua coming back. Oh man, I have to say they have to find an option that in case it happens, and it seems to be happening more often than we think, like
Rudolph.
Bringing somebody else that can be more consistent week to week rather than Skylar Thompson, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen or what Tua is going to look like when he comes back. So I don't know. I think they need to look at that, reevaluate their QB situation, because I would think they would have somebody already as backup that can still run and gun like Tua because they have the guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have running backs, you have wide receivers to throw to.
Yep.
Like, come on, like you should have been better planned for this. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how that plays out. Obviously, hope 2 is okay. It's a tough decision. I think he's had 4 or 5 concussions since college, so senior year in college. So that's tough.
What's crazy too is they cut Mike White like right at the beginning of the season. I think he
Yeah,
could have helped.
Mike White's equivalent to Skylar Thompson.
I think he's better than Skylar Thompson.
Okay, here's my thought. You have a pretty decent backup quarterback sitting on the Titans right now in Mason Rudolph. The Dolphins can make some calls. There's some pretty good backups around the league.
If I'm going for any backup, it's gonna be Joe Flacco, man.
Oh, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. He has
sure.
been proven to just be able to just plug and play, man. So I'm going for Joe Flacco. He's sitting right there in Indy just chilling.
Yeah. Who knows the way Anthony Richardson's playing? We might see some Joe Flacco action.
Or what about Magic Fitz? No, I'm just joking. But that's why I think Joe Flacco kind of is like he's like that, Fitzpatrick, right? Somebody you can bring in that can play well consistently. And yeah, he's not that guy, right? But he's somebody that you can put in there, win some games until you figure out what your situation is at QB.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. I like that one.
Well, we'll see what happens with the Dolphins. Cool.
What's your Sunday? So let's go Sunday.
Yeah, let's get into the Sunday slate. I'll never understand why they don't distribute the wealth, the NFL, on Sundays. We had 10 games in the first window.
Yeah, it was tough.
It's great for Redbox.
If you don't got Red Zone,
Red Zone. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, the distribution at least moved 3-4 games to the middle slate, distribute it a little bit more, but it's fun though. Great, best time of the year, football, beer.
Absolutely.
I'll start off with my team. Steelers with another dub. We're 2-0. Raise your hand here if you're 2-0.
Boo!
Oh, I'm the only one with my hand raised, actually. We didn't look too great on offense, but that's because the Broncos made some pretty good adjustments for second half. They did. They made some good adjustments.
Steelers just do not have an offense. That's really what it is.
We have a new offensive coordinator. Okay. Again, for the 4th year in a row. Not in a row, but we have a new offensive coordinator, and it's going to take some adjustments. I was reading from one of our beat writers, Mark Caboli, just kind of explaining a little bit that right now they're anticipating Russell Wilson coming back, so they're making Justin Fields play don't turn over the ball football. So as long as you're in there and you're not turning over the ball, you're letting the defense play well, you're going to be good. And so that's why I think they're not opening the offense as much, because they're just wanting to get wins as soon as possible before Russell Wilson comes back. Now, is it the best strategy? Who knows? Because there's a lot of speculation that Justin Fields is going to end up being the starter and Russell Wilson's just going to ride the bench the whole year. I don't think that'll happen, but if it does, I'm satisfied either way. I think both quarterbacks are good for our team right now. But it's going to get clicking. It's going to get going. A lot of plays are going to be happening. And they're going to open up the offense a lot going into the remainder of the season. It's just week 2. They're trying to figure it out. The big thing to take away from this past week with the Steelers is that we won the game. Also, our defense is legit. They're so good, man.
Yeah, y'all definitely got a legit defense.
If they stay healthy, and this is a problem every year, that Steelers, they start off the season hot, their defense looks good, steel curtain, everyone's hyping them, and then boom, injury after injury after injury. And going into the end of the season, they just have the injury bug, and they just can't sustain. So we'll see how this year plays out. If they have a good defense, we could be looking at a playoff team to finally win a playoff game.
Mm-mm.
Hey, don't say
I
that.
do not think what y'all are doing is sustainable, man.
It's not right now.
It's absolutely not sustainable.
No.
I got to figure it out. I have no idea what it is that y'all just, y'all have pieces and it just doesn't come together
But
on
it's
offense.
Week 2. It's week 2.
Yeah, it's week 2. I know, and that's what I got to say on my side too. Cowboys, it's week 2.
Yeah.
No, but that's
so we got a challenge this week for sure. We're gonna face the Chargers. They're coming into Pittsburgh for our home opener for the season. I'm excited to see how that plays out. If we beat the Chargers, then I'm confident in our game. But yeah, what do you think?
I mean, you got Justin Fields, 13 for 20, 117 yards, 1 TD.
But again, he's not turning over the football. Which, if you know Justin Fields, what is he known for? interceptions, turning over the
running the ball, getting touchdowns.
Which is good. You said that because
minus this past touchdown that we had this past week, I think he had 43 turnovers and 42 touchdowns.
Well, he also ran for 8 carries, 27 yards, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. But I think 4 of our big plays downfield got called back due to flags. Did y'all see that Justin Fields dime to George Pickens on the sideline on the run? Oh my God, it was insane. It got called back. I think it was a 41-yard grab that got called back due to a flag. So we cleaned up the little mistakes, start opening up our offense a little bit more. We'll find out after this week if Russell Wilson's going to play or not, and if it's going to be Justin Fields going forward, but it's going to open up a little bit. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, even though he had 13 passes, that was to 7 different players, so at least he distributed the ball.
Yeah, for sure. He's taking what the defense is giving him, which I appreciate, knowing Justin Fields' record with turning over the ball. Now, let's get into my favorite topic of the week. How about them Cowboys, baby? Hey, shout out to my Saints fan, Hasmin and Chris. This is for you guys. I'm here clowning these guys.
Hey, we'll give y'all one, Chris. We'll give you one. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. I woke up in a different timeline where the Bucks are 2-0 and the Saints are 2-0. What the hell is going on, man? But you know what? We weren't prepared. Cowboys were not prepared for that run game, man. Alvin Kamara killed us, bro. Derek Carr killed us. I couldn't believe it, man. It feels like every time we play any kind of coach that is from that, like Kyle Shanahan, like branch, that tree branch, bro.
Clint Kubiak,
dude. We have no answer for it. It's like it's not even hard, man. Like that Rashid one. We're playing 2-man, cover 2.
Yeah,
bro. You're literally playing cover 2 to stop the deep ball, bro. And they literally let that shit just fly, and that's wild, man. I don't know, man. I have no words, bro. I think Myles Garrett absolutely must have been sick last week because Tyler Guyton did not look the same when it came to trying to block whoever it was he was blocking with, whether it was Chase Young. Or whether it was who's the other guy they got with the weird mustache? That dude, whatever it is, man. Like he just didn't. The O-line did not show up, and you're not. We talked about this when it came to last week with the Ravens. You're not gonna win the ball game running the ball for 80 yards. Like that's just not gonna happen, man. So it's a recipe for disaster. Kudos to the Saints. They did what they had to do, and I'm glad we lost, man. Because
me too.
I'm glad we lost because
I'm so glad y'all lost.
It just completely takes the like.
Hey, and you know what? You know why I'm glad y'all lost?
Why? Go ahead.
Because Sosa is always talking shit. Derek Carr's ass. Derek Carr sucks. Derek Carr's shitty. He's the worst. And I kept telling him, I'm like, bro, I like Derek Carr. I like Dak Prescott and I like Derek Carr. I think they're both good quarterbacks. No, Derek Carr's ass, bro. What are you talking about? How are you even comparing him to Dak Prescott?
No. But let me tell you, I still think Derek Carr is ASS, right?
What?
You know why? Because here, let me tell you 2 things. Alvin Kamara ran all over him, right? And 2, the motion off the ball, man. Like, what is going on? The Cowboys cannot play against the motion.
Yeah,
what is going on?
They intentionally use motion in the backfield, and it worked. They used it with purpose, and Cowboys could not defend it.
I just don't understand. Really great defense. Like, I couldn't see it. I didn't see the Cowboys losing this game. Like, it was at home. They had the defense. The offense was running. Like, man, but this what are they called? The what? The Aints, or what are they? I don't know. That team down southwest by the attached to Texas over here. What is it called? Louisiana. Yeah, Louisiana. There you go. That team over there. Well, you know what I'm saying? But they came in here and punched him in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Mouth, bro. They punched him in the mouth.
And Derek Carr still sucks.
No, you can't.
Derek Carr still sucks.
You're being a hater.
You know what I'm saying?
You're being.
You can put Bryce Young in that Saints team, and they would have won the game the same way.
Shut up! Absolutely not, bro. Bro, Derek Carr was dropping dimes, bro.
No, he did. Hey, that Shaheed pass was beautiful.
Hey, his pocket presence was excellent, bro.
That's another thing, though. Where was the pressure? Where's Micah? Where's this Odigizua? Where is
Micah doing what he does every year, dog? Disappearing.
You're not lying, man. I'm starting to feel like he's disappearing. I know he's getting double teamed, but the best ones do, man. The best ones get double teamed. They break through it and they get that quarterback, bro. And I didn't see that this week. I barely saw it last week. So we're gonna have to figure something out, man.
All credit to the Saints. They broke that 12-game win streak that you guys had at home.
Yeah. Yeah, regular season.
Regular season. It
doesn't count.
Unless you want to bring up that Green Bay ass whooping that y'all got last year.
Hey, but I got something real quick. I got something on Alvin Kamara, man. He balled out.
Bruh.
He balled out. And for that, Alvin Kamara is my Rumpelmint running back of the week.
I like that. Rumpelmint running back.
I love him. I hate him.
I had him. One of my other leagues that I was playing in, he was my opponent, and oh my god, he killed me, bro. He literally, I got destroyed in that league.
And I'm just gonna put this out there: Derek Carr went 11 for 16, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. No, I'm putting out this with 1 interception, which I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, I wouldn't.
You said 11 for what?
He went 11 for 16.
That is so good, bro. 11 for 16.
That's pretty good. I mean, Kamara really was the.
Oh yeah, dominated.
Yeah, he dominated that game. He was running outside the lines, like, I mean, they just couldn't stop him.
Hey.
And then that motion, I don't understand how you just can't plan for that. Is it Zimmer? You know what I mean?
Is Zimmer a fraud?
Is he a fraud?
Is Zimmer a fraud?
Or what's going on? Like with the defense, like it's Sunday. It looked like a shell of itself. Like I was like, is this really?
Is it though? Or like, are the Cowboys who we thought they were?
Come on, man. Come on. We them boys, all right? We America's team, baby. But I would say though too. No, but I would say this too though. I mean, Michael Parsons, like, you know what I'm saying? This is his year to show that he's worth that money, right? They should pay him. And every game counts. Week 1, week 2, it's only week 1 or week 2. No. If you're trying to get paid at the end of the year, be the highest paid defensive player or even highest paid NFL player, like every game is going to count towards that. And if you're going to wait till week 6, right, when, to actually show us that you are this great player, like, then you're not going to get that. I don't think you're going to get that money, right? Every game I think counts, whether it's week 1 or week 15. I feel for him, I mean, it was kind of a huge disappointment. I think I didn't even see him really, like, I think there was one part of the game when Tom Brady was saying, Michael Parsons, sideline. That's where you want to see him. That's the best position in the game right there. That's if you're playing against him. And I think I saw him more on the sideline than I did in the game, honestly. Probably not really, but still, like, come on. Like,
that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it felt like that. Like, yeah. I don't even think he played a big part. I mean, Tank, he did really well. I think he tried his best. He was just getting beat too, but I mean, he was fighting, man. But I don't know, man. Maybe Zimmer is a fraud.
Who do you guys got this week? The Ravens, right?
Yeah, we got the Ravens, man. Hopefully, we can send them 0-3. We really need a win, man.
I hope.
And they're desperate too, though. They need a win too, real bad.
They do,
and they do have a good running game. They don't have the best offensive line, so we possibly could take advantage of that. But we do have issues when it comes to mobile quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good game, though. Just make sure y'all tune in.
Is that a home or away?
That's an away game, I believe.
Going to Baltimore, that's going to be tough.
325.
That is going to be tough for sure. Cool. Let's get into the rest of the week. We segue right into that. We have the Ravens going down 0-2 to the Raiders. I'm hearing
before we jump into that, I will add to your Chris shout out. Chris, yo. Sometimes, the sun shines on a dog's, So, hey, it comes and it goes. We'll take the losses. But who that? Well, I'll tell you who really that. Them boys, baby. We still America's team. We still the best team in America, in the world. And we're going to come back from this, all right? All right, Chris, we'll come back from this.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a delusional Cowboys fan.
Amen. Hey, no, we heard some Delulu shit in week 1. We're not doing that shit today.
All right. Ravens go down 0-2. They lost to the Raiders. They were up by 10 points in the fourth quarter. I am hearing left and right people shouting, some Ravens fans shouting for Harbaugh to be fired.
No, that's dramatic.
Every time this happens, bro. Every time. They've had like 4 or 5 games where they've been up at least 10 points in the fourth quarter and they've lost the game. Bad play management, bad clock management.
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
Hey, That's what the Ravens do, though.
They even let, they shut down the run game, you know what I mean, of the Raiders. So they had the keys to beating the Raiders, but they did mismanage it, absolutely.
Hey, Raiders defense looked nice. Devontae Adams, still one of the best wide receivers in the NFL for sure. He had a good game.
That tight end, too. That tight end, he's coming into his
Brock
own skin.
Bowers?
Yeah, he's nice.
I'm not going to lie. I wasn't a Brock Bowers hater, but I didn't think he was going to mesh so well right off the bat. Oh, man, he's killing it. I think he's like top 3 in tight ends in fantasy right now.
Yeah.
Robin has him on his team.
Yeah, and good point. But I'm going to say that Derrick Henry this week, 18 carries, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. So he averaged 4.6 yards a carry, and he did really well. So to my point, what I was trying to talk about earlier is, do when it comes to the Ravens, do you want to consistently play your game plan if you know your run game is working, right? Because I don't think in the fourth quarter they really ran that much. I mean, if that's what's working for you, why wouldn't you continue with that rather than going off of what your system or your game plan was? If your game plan ain't working, I mean, I know it came down to like the last play of the game, but you know what I'm saying? If Henry's the guy that's carrying you, wouldn't you just hand him the ball and let him, win the game for you?
Coaching.
You know what I'm saying?
Comes down to coaching.
And then with Zay Flowers, hey, I told y'all Zay Flowers had a bad game. He was going to come back this week.
Yeah.
I hope you started Zay Flowers. I hope y'all started Zay Flowers this week because he was, 7 receptions, 91 yards and touchdown? I mean, he played really well this week. So,
all right, let's see. We had Chargers, Panthers. Chargers came out on top. They dominated. Bryce Young comes out this week. He ends up getting benched.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I have mixed emotions because, 1, he wasn't playing well, right? Everyone can admit that.
Yeah.
But 2, it's the Panthers, bro. Their organization is so bad.
Absolutely.
They're not setting him up for success. His offensive line isn't great. Now, granted, this game, he only got pressured, I think, 4 or 5 times, but still, their offensive line is not great. And their defense, they traded away all their stars, and they're kind of in a rebuilding mode. So, like, how are you going to put all the blame on Bryce Young when the team as a whole is just not great?
No, anytime you let J.K. Dobbins, who has had every damn leg injury that you could possibly have known to man, get 17 carries for 131 yards and a tutty, and then you have his backup, Gus Edwards, going for 59 yards too, what do? And what's even crazier, you know when it's going your way when Quentin Johnson, who can't catch the ball, gets 2 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Nah, but he's in his second year, man. Last year was rough, right? It's his rookie year. He's adjusting, but hey, he's one to look out for. Quentin Johnson might be their wide receiver 1.
Maybe 5 for 51.
I like J.K. Dobbins, right? Because same thing you just said. Everyone thinks he's always injury riddled, but he only had the 1 knee injury and the Achilles injury. Now, granted, they are big injuries, but he's only 25. J.K. Dobbins is young, and if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he might be the top 3 running back in the NFL this year. I have him on my fantasy, so I hope he is. But they're getting their shit shut down, baby, when they come to Pittsburgh this week. Absolutely shut down.
No, J.K. did really well this week. I mean, 131 yards. I think he surpassed Tomlinson's record. What was Tomlinson's? I think how many games? 100 yards total per game.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I have to relook, but he surpassed Tomlinson as far as like first 2 weeks as far as rushing yards. But
and like the first 2 weeks span.
Yeah, with the Chargers, full rushing yards. But he played really well this past week.
Hey, but I'm telling you, they're gonna get tested this week coming into Pittsburgh.
And I have Justin Herbert, so he did pretty good. Not as good as I wanted him to. He ain't no Josh Allen,
right? Nothing crazy, but
he's not doing as well as I thought he would. But he's keeping me in the game, so it's good for me.
Cool. Let's get into little Niners Minnesota action. For some reason, the San Francisco 49ers cannot beat the Vikings.
The Vikings have that kryptonite against the 49ers.
They have their number, bro.
I love it.
It's crazy. And everyone was saying Sam Darnold sucks. Sam Darnold's not going to be anything over there.
He was good.
Justin Jefferson went late in the rounds because he has no quarterback. Bruh. Pretty much 100-yard touchdown reception, bro.
Yeah.
Holy.
He threw it from the end zone.
He threw it from the middle of the end zone, and they scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
And that was a
beautiful.
bomb, bro. Like yard wise, I think it was like 50 yards until it got to. He caught it at midfield.
Yeah, he definitely caught it at midfield,
So, like,
and he zigged and zagged and got the rest.
Bro,
So
that's crazy.
it was
He
good.
did get hurt a little bit. Soft tissue injury, kind of the same thing he was dealing with last week or last year. But bro, we're gonna see a little bit going into the Niners' next few games. They're out CMC. They're out Debo Samuel now. We're gonna see what Brock Purdy's really made of, and if he can actually win games without 4 Pro Bowlers on the offense.
We'll see what happened, man. They you know what kept them in the game was Fred Warner, man.
Oh my God,
bro, he's a great linebacker.
Back 7 defenders. He's probably the best back 7 defender in the NFL.
100%. And it was crazy. He's a Cowboy. He was a Cowboys fan, man. He wanted to be a Cowboy so bad. He thought he was gonna get drafted, and he goes to the 49ers. And you know what? That's his villain arc, bro. That's his villain arc. Now he's
now
who
he beats
is.
the shit out of the Cowboys.
He owns us shit. So it is what he does. I mean, look.
Hey, Fred. If the Cowboys got Fred Warner, bro, I would say honestly, y'all would be a Super Bowl team, bro.
Fred Warner for the Niners.
Warner, bro.
Let me tell you right now, I'm a Fred Warner fan. You know why?
Me too.
You know why I'm a Fred Warner fan? Because he's one of my Panama brothers. He's Panamanian, my man. He's Panamanian. So I always root for Fred Warner. You know what I'm saying? You got to root for him.
Hey, he's a dog, Fred, bro. He's a dog.
Hey, he's good. Man, that pick.
Yeah, bro. He's good.
Man, I like Fred Warner. I've always liked him.
I hate playing against Niners because of Fred Warner, bro.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys, like, he's not one of those pass rushers that you got to plan for, but he's one of those guys on the defense, like, you got to work around because he's there and he's everywhere all the time.
He's always going to give you 100%.
Yeah.
Always.
So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if Justin Jefferson's going to play this week, but we'll see. I don't know who Minnesota has. Niners, they are for sure out of Debo and CMC. We're going to get into some IR stuff a little bit later, but we'll see. We'll see if the Niners can pull it out.
Real quick, I think, let me see here. The Niners got the Rams next week.
Oh, that's perfect.
They got them in the late window game. And then the Vikings actually have the Texans at home.
Ooh, it's going to be tough.
12 o'clock game.
All right, next up we got Bengals versus Kansas City Chiefs. They came out.
That was a good one, man.
They came out on top. The Chiefs, 26-25 with a game-winning field goal from Harrison Butker. Everyone hates on the Chiefs because I assume it's because they're winning championships. A lot of controversy on the internet about that pass interference call at the end. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a pass interference or?
I think it was.
I do too.
I mean, when you got the power of T-Swizzle behind you, man, what can you do, man? What can you do? No, but it is what it is. They're the favorites. It's almost like when you get into the ring in the octagon, man, you're always going to be the favorite to win. You're always going to get the judgment.
Yeah, if it goes to the cards, the champ's going to get the favorite. Yeah.
And it's the same thing here, man. Like, let's not beat around the bush. It's what it is, bro.
I think I saw that ref front row with his daughter at the TF Taylor Swift concert the last one.
Bro, that was
I think that's what was going on. Wasn't it?
No, that was 100% pass interference.
Yeah, it was a good game.
The ball was in the air. It wasn't even getting to him yet, and he just slammed him in the back, bro. And people say, oh, you can't call that. You can't call. It's a football game. You have to call that. You can't ignore it just because you don't want the Chiefs to win or you don't want this persona that the Chiefs get all the calls. You just can't. You got to put it on the defense. You got to go back to the defense and say, hey, you can't make that play in that situation.
I feel like this year the refs been kind of bad with that. They've missed a couple of PIs that.
Oh, bro, they've missed a couple. They've missed face masks.
Oh, and face masks.
And they've called. Right. And they've called ones that shouldn't be called. It's been. I wouldn't say it's terrible yet, but it's
and those calls would impacted the game if they would have called them. They would have impacted the final result of those games. Yeah. Especially the face mask and the pass interference for sure.
Now I did see there was one with the Cowboys where there was a face mask, but that was not going to impact.
I'm gonna tell you that. I was gonna say we could have had 1,000 face masks. It would have been 44-23, bro.
It affects the momentum. You know what I'm saying? That that right there,
for sure,
we wouldn't know. That could have ended in we don't know
44-30 insteed of 40.
Hey, we them boys, all right. Hey, we them boys.
Hey, Chiefs are still the Chiefs. Okay, 2-0. I still think that the AFC is gonna have to run through them until they show otherwise. Now they did lose Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, that's big.
but I don't think it's as significant. They're gonna bring in a couple people. They got Kareem Hunt on the practice squad today.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in fantasy too.
Yeah, so we'll look into that a little bit. But I still think they're still gonna be decent. Anytime you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, you have a chance. And so I don't think Isaiah Pacheco is gonna be too much of an impact, but we'll see how that plays out.
Anytime we bring up Patrick Mahomes, you got to do the voice.
Okay, we lost Isaiah, but it's cool. We're gonna see how next week goes. Travis is gonna get his grabs up, and hopefully Taylor comes too. Well, they got a rookie, Carson Steele. He's a fan favorite.
But what happened to Hilaire?
I think he's hurt.
He's there.
He's depressed.
Yeah, he's got PTSD right now, and then they also got what was his name? Samaj Pirine.
Oh yeah,
they got him too.
They do, yeah.
Who is?
I don't know if he's that great, honestly, but
shoot, he can catch the ball and go.
So I think it's gonna be like a 50-50, split back type of thing
with Carson Steele.
Yeah, for sure.
They go against Atlanta this week.
Yeah, we'll see how Atlanta looks.
Speaking
cool.
of,
yeah, we'll get into them in just a sec. Next up, we got the Texans versus Bears Sunday Night Football.
Oh, that was that Sunday night game.
That was Sunday night game. It was a good defensive game for sure. Texans are so good, man. Their front seven's good. CJ Stroud is a dog, bro. He's so good.
Yeah, even when they struggle, they find a way to like move that ball. They find a way to get the ball into like their playmakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's nice.
Now, I think I still like Caleb Williams. I think it's too early to like panic, right? Like you're not gonna panic, but you have a little bit of worry. But it's just I don't know if you guys knew this, but a little stat. Caleb Williams got pressured 36 out of 37 passes that they had on offense. Their offensive line was absolutely dog water. They were terrible. They were so bad. He was missing throws, right? But you assume that when a quarterback's getting beat up all night, his timing's going to be a little bit off, So it was rough. It was a rough go. I think they're kind of in that Steelers position, right? Their offense isn't really going yet, but their defense is playing really well. And I think it'll start clicking for them eventually. It's going to take some time for sure, but they're up to 1-1 now. Texans are going to be so good, man. They're going to be they're going to be a playoff team for sure. CJ Stroud's a dog, but I'm excited to see what the Bears do. I have DJ Moore in our league, and so I'm hoping that they get it clicking, they get it going. They were also missing Keenan Allen, right? Or did he not play?
No, he didn't play. Yeah, no, he still has that heel injury.
Yeah, so they were missing Keenan Allen too. And when you get to focus and do the cover, one on DJ Moore with the safety over the top, the touches aren't going to be there as much. But I'm excited for the Bears. I'm glad to see what that looks like going forward.
Let's go back a little bit, though. We didn't talk about that America's Game of the Week with the Rams and the Cardinals.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Now, let me ask that. Before we go into that, before we go into who is, that game, would you rather get blown out straight out the gate or, kind of be in the mix and then get blown out? I'm referring to the Cowboys game versus the Rams game. Like which one was a better blowout? Or which one would you be able to live with?
No, I would take the blowout straight from the beginning,
yeah,
just because
get it out of the way early.
And I'm gonna learn more about my team.
Yeah,
right. Rather than I get blown out. The fourth quarter? We lost the fourth quarter. Maybe I don't know. They just gave up that fourth, thinking it was gonna be a give me. But if your team's blown out in the first quarter, it's gonna say a lot about your team, right? Are you still in the fight? Are you still trying to come back from this, deficit? Are you, it's gonna tell me a lot about different players. It's gonna tell me if they're willing to come back or still fight for that win, or, it'll show me also what I need to work on as far as what is it, my defense, my offense. So I'd rather take that early blowout and learn from that than the late one, just because I think I'll learn a lot more from every individual and also the team.
Yeah. Now, I will say, though, Rams are going through it right now. They lost.
Yeah, they got 2 injuries.
Yeah, they lost Puka. They lost Cooper Kupp. It's going to be tough for them. I was watching some NFL Live today, and Dan Orlovsky, they kind of floated the idea of you look midseason, right, mid-October, and your team's losing games. You have an older quarterback who doesn't have a great O-line, right? Let's be honest. He's almost 40, doesn't want to get beat up all the time. Do you maybe look at, if you know you're not going to the playoffs, your team's not going to be a contending team, do you trade Matthew Stafford?
Mm.
Do you look? I think he has $58 million, 2 years left on his contract. But do you look at options of like, okay, this was the all-in year for the Rams, right? They could probably go and try to win a championship with a healthy squad. But if the timeline of these injuries, right, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, if they're not going to come back till end of October, mid-October, you might have to think about the idea of like, hey, let's move Matthew Stafford and let's get someone either younger or plan for the future and see if Matthew Stafford can go to a team that either needs a quarterback or is kind of trying to play for a playoff spot, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Marvin Harrison's good. Kyler Murray, bro. Everyone was sleeping on the little silver tooth running kid out there, Kyler Murray, but he's balling.
Is he balling, or is it because he has Marvin Harris? Now I read here. So Marvin Harrison Sr. in his entire career has only recorded 100 receptions and 2 reception touchdowns in a single quarter only once in his entire career, which is a Hall of Fame career, right?
Yeah.
Super Bowl champ, right? His son already did it twice. So I mean,
he's a dog, bro.
Is it Kyle Murray or is it the weapons? I mean, you can put Bryce Young on there and maybe he'll throw it.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know about that either, man. But I will say, man, the Cardinals played about the most complete game you could play, man. Like
Kyler Murray had a perfect QBR.
Yeah. 226, 3 tutties. James Conner, 21 carries, 122.
I love James Conner, bro.
We don't want to hear you because if you loved him, you wouldn't let him go.
You know how Steelers are in paying running backs. They just don't do it. Le'Veon Bell. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Nobody does that.
But I like him. But I like his story. He went to Penn State. He had what was it? Cancer. The blood cancer.
Yeah, he had and he recovered from that.
Yeah. So I like James Conner. I'm always gonna support him. I think he was good.
And to reference what Jesus was saying, yeah, Kyle had a really great game. 17-21, 266, 3 touchdowns, but he also ran for what?
Oh yeah,
5 carries, 59 yards.
Yeah, you can't forget about his feet.
Yeah,
and I think that's what separates him from a lot of the smaller body quarterbacks, right? Is that he can actually move. He's agile. He can run and get out of situations. Like Bryce Young, he's small and he can throw the ball. I'm not gonna say Bryce Young's bad because I think the organization's bad.
Yeah,
but Kyler Murray can get out of situations and he's way more elusive. I think Mina Kimes was talking about it on her podcast on how Jalen Hurts is like, you think about Jalen Hurts, he can run the ball, right? He's not a threat running, but he's more of like a downhill hard runner compared to your Kyler Murrays who are like elusive, they're quick, they can juke you and get out of the way and rather than having to run you over or run forward, you know?
Yeah. And to go back to the Rams, how you're saying like the QB position, I mean, Matthew Stafford, right? I mean, do you think you want to like trade to get something now or maybe look at getting something in the draft, you know, because there's a lot of QBs that come out of college that are pretty good, especially this next year. I don't know. I think, you know, just go with what you got. Maybe pick up something off of the draft.
So I think it depends, right? Where are you in the season and how many wins do you have? You know, if you're going to be at a point where you can be higher in the draft, I say go for it. Trade Matthew Stafford. Go for a draft pick.
Hey, trade him to the Miami Dolphins. That'd be a nice one, right?
If Tua doesn't,
if Tua plays, Tua's our guy.
Yeah, no, and that's a good call because look, Matthew isn't bad. Like 19, 27, 216 yards. Yeah, he didn't get no TDs.
He's a great quarterback.
Yeah, he can still play like Joe Flacco, right?
Yeah.
But I think he probably can move a little bit better than Joe Flacco, but he's still good.
He can spin it,
bro. He can still help a team win.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're the Rams, like, yeah, maybe trade out. But if you're gonna trade out, what are you looking to trade for? Are you looking to trade for something to win now, or are you looking for something to maybe pick something up in the offseason and draft and then rebuild? Right.
I feel like it'd be more of a rebuild type of thing.
At this point, you're gonna kind of do what's better for Matthew.
You need a good enough quarterback because you have the weapons. You really do. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, we're not going to tell really until end of October and see where they stand, how long the injuries are going to be for the Rams because they are riddled with injuries. They're probably going to get dominated next week by the Niners. Yeah. So We'll see how that plays out. Yeah.
Still got the Jets too. Jets and Titans played.
Yeah, Jets, Titans. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback with Titans. Will Levis is wild.
He's a poor man's Brett Favre. That's what he is.
Hey, I feel bad. Hey, I'm throwing it out there right now for all Steelers organization who may be tuning in and listening. Go get DeAndre Hopkins right now. Get him out of Tennessee. Bring him to Pittsburgh. And that is another weapon for Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Go do
Hopkins, or I mean, I don't think they could, but Ridley. Ridley's better. I think Ridley's better.
Better than DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
You're wild.
Hopkins is already kind of on his way down.
What? I do not think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. I like Ridley.
You know how many times he got targeted? Once. One target to DeAndre Hopkins. That's crazy.
And I know we're talking about Levis. I'm not saying Levis is like a future.
He's learning.
He's learning, but I think around the league, man, I mean, all these young QBs is like, if they don't produce the way you want them to, then you just kick them to the curb. Like, there's no development, I don't think, for some of these young QBs.
It's definitely
because you're drafting these guys in, first round, right? But then you're like, okay, I'm drafting you first round. I want you to perform right now, right? Like, this is what I'm expecting from you. And I get it because you're drafting these guys first round, but I mean, you're not gonna find a Tom Brady, or a Dak Prescott.
Diamonds in the rough.
You're not gonna find those diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes sat. Tom Brady sat.
Yeah, and you got to give these guys time. You got to build them. You got to, you can't. You're just throwing them out to the wolves, and then they. I don't want to say they fail, but they have some growing pains, and then you just like, oh well, I'm just gonna. You're done. You know what? Let me go over here and see who I can find that can do what I need them to do, which you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and Tom Brady talked a little bit. It was not during the season. It was a little bit before the season. I think he was on the Pat McAfee show, but he was just talking about how it's kind of a win now mentality in the league. Everyone wants to go find their guy right now. Mm-hmm. They want to go draft a quarterback to plug and play and go win a championship. And it's no longer a league where you draft quarterbacks and you develop them, like you said. They sit behind starters and learn the game and learn how fast-paced the NFL is. It's not like that anymore. Everyone has a win now mentality, and we're seeing in real time how it's affecting these quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett. They wanted to go draft a guy for win now, didn't work out. Will Levis, they're in the experiment of, hey, we drafted Will Levis, let's play him, and it's not looking great. But again, it's only year 2. We'll see how it plays out. I definitely agree it should be the other way around, right? Draft your quarterback, let him sit for a couple of years like Patrick Mahomes did, and let him learn the game.
Hey man, Aaron Rodgers, man, he played pretty good. He played decent enough to, get them the win. That pass that he threw to Breece Hall at the pylon was sick. Yeah. I've never seen a running back do a Megatron, and that was exactly what he did, a Megatron. It was beautiful, bro.
Yeah, it was good. Aaron Rodgers finally got his first win.
He's got his dub.
Second technically, because he played 4 snaps last season. But, first full game dub as a Jet. We'll see how that plays out. It is only the Titans, so we'll see how it goes going forward. But that was a good win for them.
Oh, we got another one too that we didn't really talk about, which was that Buccaneers in that
oh yeah,
Lions.
That was a good one.
Yeah, let's try to.
That was a good game.
Let's try to get through them.
Those are 2 playoff teams, I believe, in the NFC. Depending on how the other teams start looking, that was a good defensive game. It was a back and forth coaching game. Dan Campbell probably made a mistake. They think they threw the ball 50 times. That is not their strong suit. I know they have weapons to throw the ball, but they are a running team, and they threw the ball 50 times. So that's kind of what killed them going on throughout the game. But I guess I'll say it. Baker Mayfield played well.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield played real well. But are you going to say that the Bucs are the real deal? Or
I think it's early.
It's early, yeah.
Their first team they played were the Commanders.
Week 2, yeah.
This week that they played and they faced the Lions, that was their first real test, and they went into the Dome and they won. So that was, kudos to them for getting that done. It was not an easy feat, but it's early. We'll see.
Yeah.
Especially how their division plays out. We'll see how the Falcons end up, and that's kind of leading us into our next segment.
Well, before we do that, just real quick, just wanted to cover Giants Commanders, whack-ass game. Commanders came out on top.
Good game.
It was okay.
Daniel Jones played good. Malik Neighbors went crazy.
Napers did. You know what's crazy? How you almost win in all the stats and still lose the game? You know
No,
what I mean?
it's because they didn't have a kicker.
Gano got hurt right in the beginning. Yeah, I remember that.
So he was dealing with like a groin injury or something,
Yeah.
and they almost they did run back the opening kick or something.
Yeah.
And he got hurt trying to make a play.
Yeah.
And they were out of a kicker the whole game. So
Yeah.
they were in a position to win the game and at least go up, but they couldn't because they had to go for it on every fourth down because
Yeah.
they didn't have a place kicker.
No, yeah.
So that was unfortunate. But the Commanders did end up coming out on top. Jaden Daniels looks good. I like it.
He needs to throw the ball more, man. He's
but he'll
running
learn.
like all over the place. And
yeah, he'll learn.
it is what it is, man. That leaves the Commanders on top. We also have Patriots and Seahawks. We want to touch on that one too. DK Metcalf had a great catch, man. Beautiful in stride catch. Man, DK Metcalf owners, whoever has him in fantasy, y'all must have been happy this week because he was one of the best receivers this week. So that game ended 23-20, and that just about takes it. We had the other one with the Colts and Packers.
Snooze fest.
That was a snooze fest. Hey, I sent y'all that clip of that O-line throwing up, man. That's classic
yeah.
O-line shit right there, man.
I did that a couple times in high school.
And then lastly, we got this Monday night game, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so Monday night, Eagles-Falcons. We got the Eagles falling to the Falcons at the very end of the game, 22-21. Kirk Chains leading the Falcons to a victory. Defense played okay. Offense was struggling throughout the game, but in that 2-minute drill, it looked so clean with Kirk driving downfield. Let's go to the end of the game for the Eagles, right? They're up. I believe at the time they're up by 3, 18-15. It's third down, right? They have 3 yards to go to get a first down to basically ice the game. Keep in mind, Falcons have no timeouts, okay? Minute something left on the clock. They call a pass play in the flat, right? And keep in mind, they're averaging, I think, 7, 8, 9 yards per carry. And they end up passing the ball in the flat to Saquon Barkley. He cannot catch the ball. Clock stops. Now they're forced with a little over a minute to kick a field goal and go up only 21-15 and give the opportunity with a lot of time on the clock for Kirk Cousins to drive down the field. Now, considering that they were averaging so many yards per carry and it's third down, so you have time to run down the clock even more, what do y'all think? Bad call or bad execution?
100% bad call. I lived Kellen Moore. I lived with it, bro. So I know it was a bad call, man. You have arguably the best running back in the league, the best offensive line in the league, right? And even if you don't get it, you burn the 40 seconds that they used against y'all. You know, and then you do the push,
yeah,
and then you get the first down,
yep.
And then we're not even talking about this, but all this talk on the mainstream media is about, oh, he wanted to be aggressive, Sirianni wanted to be aggressive and do a bootleg and all that and be aggressive. You know what would be aggressive is to go and punch the Falcons in the mouth. They knew we were gonna run, and we still did it, and they couldn't stop us. That's aggressive.
Yeah, but put the shoe on the other foot. Say he does catch the ball. Then it's like, oh, they knew they were going to run the ball. They knew it was going to come punch him in the mouth, and they tricked him. They threw it, and they got the first down, and they iced the game. What a great call by Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore. What a way to put the game away. It goes on both things, right? Jeff Saturdays talks about it's your job to make the play, right? Don't fall back on the coaching decision when it was there. You just didn't execute.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with it too. Like, you know, and it takes me back to the Ravens game. Like, are you going to continue with your system of play, or you're going to go with what's good, what's working? And if you would have handed that ball to Saquon, I think, you know, we would definitely be having a different conversation today, 100%. I mean, the rushing game looked really good with Saquon, 95 yards. Even Jalen Hurts ran for 85 yards. Like,
yeah.
I mean, their running game was on point too, and I agree. I think you should have ran that ball. When you're going for those passes, I don't care who you're passing it to. It's always a 50-50 ball. If you got those defensive players that you know, and these are NFL professional players, right? Like, when that ball's in the air, it's a 50-50 ball. I mean, if my player's better than your player, then obviously my player's going to get it 90% of the time. But, man, like, at that point of the game, you definitely should have been running the ball.
Yeah.
On top of that, they went for that fourth down early when they could have just settled for
Yeah.
that kick, and on top of that, they wouldn't have even been in that situation. I know that was early in the game, so that would have
Shoulda,
probably,
coulda, woulda.
yeah. And then it goes back to that shoulda, coulda, woulda. You chose that game plan, you chose that play. It didn't work. Now suffer the consequences. Suffer.
Hey, but that also brings into question the Eagles' defense. They are in trouble.
Yeah, and even Sweat right at the end of the game was like, he took the credit, like not the credit, but like, hey, you got me.
Yeah.
you got me. So I mean, you're right. That defense is.
There's some questions about that defense. Honestly, their DBs, they're good, right? They can play, but they struggled, man. I don't know if it was miscommunication or what, but I definitely know it wasn't Kirko just being a god on the field in 2-minute drill. They just struggled right there at the end. But I thought it was a good game. Great way to end the second week of football. I think Eagles have this week.
I mean, was it a great way to end the week? I mean, it was the Eagles. Come on, like.
Well, for Cowboys fans watching the Eagles,
do we really want to finish the week with the Eagles and the Falcons? Like,
hey, watching the Eagles lose after we lost is always refreshing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
got
guess
y'all
I
ass
mean,
whooped.
that was a good game, I guess, to watch the Eagles go down.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool. All right, so let's get into our next thing here. We'll touch on it quickly. Just let's go over some injury report. I'm just gonna touch through a few injuries, just some of the bigger names that we know.
Yeah. Let me throw that first one out. CMC still didn't play.
CMC out. He was put on IR last week. He at least missed 4 weeks. We'll see what Brock Purdy can do going forward. Tua came out today, Tuesday, that he has been put on IR. He has had a concussion for the 69th time in 5 years. We're going to see what ends up happening with Tua. Obviously, right, no one wants to go out that way, but concussions are no joke, man.
No.
They're really not. And if it ends up turning out that he can't play, all respect to him for making that decision. He's getting paid either way, not that it's all about money, but it's really, and obviously the player in him, right, the competitor in him is not going to want him to quit, but sometimes it's a hard choice to make. You got to think about your future. He has 2 kids. You got to think about how you're going to be later down the line, and that's going to be tough.
If he does retire, he does not get the $212 million.
No, he does.
No.
Yes, he does, bro. It's in the salary cap. It's an impact. Yes, it is.
He would be foregoing the contract. Yeah,
no,
that's what they were talking about.
It's still included, and it's still a hit to their salary cap, $59 a year. Mina Kimes said it today on
She
NFL
did?
Live. Yeah.
Ooh, I trust anything she says. So okay, she proved me wrong. She could tell me the sky is red, and I believe it.
Shout out to Mina Kimes. Puka and Cooper Kupp. The Rams are going through
Cooper
it. Injury riddled. Rams are going through it. They're going to be out. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. I think they're both on IR, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to be out at least 4 weeks. We'll see how the Rams goes back to our conversation we had earlier about the Rams. Debo Samuel not on IR, but he is hurt with soft tissue.
Calf injury. I know about that.
Yeah, he's going to miss some time. We'll see how long, but for you fantasy owners, make sure you make your lineup adjustments.
Yeah, that's me. I got Debo. I remember last time I got Debo last season,
Yeah.
and I went through the same thing. Probably around the same time last year. That I had Debo, and
Yeah.
and then him.
And
go.
then he got hurt again at the end of the season.
Yeah,
in the
that's why I
playoffs.
let him go.
Yeah.
I let him go.
Hey, you should drop him again so I can get him again.
I just might. Oh man, this Debo man, like it must be because I picked him. Because when the minute I let him go, man, he came back and he went off. Right? I was like,
Next, we got A.J. Brown. He did not play last night. Could have been a factor into why the Eagles lost, but A.J. Brown out. Not on IR, but we'll see how that goes. It's a hamstring, right?
yeah, hamstring I think it was, and he played well first week, right? And it's unfortunate
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not on IR. He's currently questionable though for this upcoming week. That is going to be a huge blow to the Lions. Into one of my other leagues, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown too, so that's going to be tough. Justin Jefferson with a quad injury. He is not on IR, but I believe he's doubtful to play.
Ooh, we got Joe Mixon too.
Joe,
That's a big one for the Texans.
it is, but they also have a ton of weapons. Joe Mixon not on IR, but he did have that ankle injury when it came to the hip drop tackle that happened on
Ooh.
Sunday Night Football. It looked pretty bad.
It did look bad. It looked.
I'm surprised he came back in, honestly.
Textbook, like it was a textbook band tackle and no
Yeah,
call.
but I don't like that
pissed.
shit, bro. I don't like the don't hip drop tackle. It's a flag.
Bro, let
It's
me break.
football,
So
bro.
okay,
It's
let me
football,
break his
bro.
ankle. Then it's fine.
It's football,
What the
baby. It
fuck?
happens.
No, hell no.
It happens. They're not doing it on purpose. It's just tackling. It happens sometimes.
And with injury report, let me take it back to the Tua. Now, you know how they implemented the ability to be able to use the Guardians this year?
Mm-hmm.
If Tua comes back, would you give him the option? Because it's supposed to prevent
It's optional,
concussions, right? Or would you like, hey man, come on,
Wear
like,
the Guardian.
wear the
cap.
Guardian. You're the QB. You're the QB.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I think the only player I've seen wearing it right now is a Steeler,
James Daniels, right guard.
right guard,
Yeah.
wearing the Guardian. But like, would you implement him to
I
wear
think
the Guardian?
A tight end on the Colts too. I think, or no, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor was a Guardian too.
Yeah, I saw the guy with y'all
Yeah.
wearing it. He looked like a goddamn
And
fool.
No, he did not,
Yes, he
bro. You
did.
can't even tell. You
Looked like he
cannot
had a
even tell.
sock on
No,
his goddamn
bro.
head.
The ones that match the uniforms, you cannot tell.
You can tell that thing is on his
I don't-
head.
I
I
don't
don't
think
care what
so.
anybody says. You could see it from a mile away.
What?
No,
I-
man, it's
I
it
feel like
looks.
I can.
Hey,
When I'm
look,
watching the game,
I was
I
saying it
feel
looks
like I don't notice.
ridiculous. It looks ridiculous.
You
It looks
think
like
so?
like this guy forgot like he picked up the wrong he picked up the wrong helmet. Like he went through the thing, picked the practice helmet instead of a game helmet. But I get it. I understand what they do.
I get for linemen, interior down linemen. You know, they
Yeah.
they get the most contact every play.
No,
so.
and I get it. I understand what it is and what it's used for, and allowing the player to have the option to use it.
yeah.
Hey, of course, hey, that's great. But when you have somebody, or let's say they implemented something where, hey, we have a player that's had so and so concussions this
Yeah.
year.
yeah,
It's no longer an option. It's now coach's discretion.
yeah.
We're
We're paying you money. You're gonna wear this.
Now, if you've had 3 concussions, would you go ahead and implement that to put that on?
I think
Like,
so.
let's say, for instance, Tua. Like, if I was the coach, I'd be like, hey, come on, man. You got to wear this. We need you to be healthy, safe.
Yeah.
This is for you.
And don't get me wrong, it's not going to prevent concussions, right? But it's supposed to mitigate the impact, right? It's long term. It's supposed to benefit players. Now, Tua, don't be diving headfirst to DeMar Hamlin's chest, but come on, man.
A brain for the heart.
So,
No,
yeah,
but I will say this: if Tua gets back on the field, man, real quick, I'm putting him in the Halo 3 outfit, bro. Like I'm putting him in the Mjolnir outfit. Like he's
Yeah.
gotta be on point. 'Cause shit, one more hit, man, that's like he's gonna start forgetting who he is.
Yeah. So lots of injuries, lots of things happening. We'll see how that goes in the next couple weeks. Hopefully, we come out of this week clean for all of our teams and everyone going forward. But we'll see.
yeah, it's crazy that's who it was, right?
I
Tua
know, right?
Getting hit by Hamlin.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I like that. Breathe for
All right, gentlemen, let's get into the main segment here. We got Family Feud. All right, let's go to the game of the week. We're gonna kick it off with Robin versus Mark. The Bucks versus Storm the Court. Mark came out on top with a dominant victory over Robin in week 2. I said it last week. He's not gonna get 30 points out of all his players every single week. But Mark had a good lineup, man. He got him.
Yeah, and it was pretty good at the beginning. I thought it was gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, like Mark just destroyed him. Sorry about that, the Bucks. But I mean, hey, you probably should have started Zay Flowers.
Brees Hall and Nico Collins went crazy.
Hey, Zay Flowers went off and he had him on the bench.
Yeah, but even with them, he still wouldn't have won.
No, but I referenced that week 1. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, I
did,
said
yeah,
Zay
you
Flowers
did.
was gonna go this week, but hey, what do I know?
Hey, Mark won, right? But at what cost? Right? He lost Isaiah Pacheco, man.
did.
And I don't see any running backs on this guy's other than Gus.
Hey, that's good for me. I play him
Oh,
this
you
week.
play him this
I
week?
do, so that's good for
Okay.
me. We'll see.
So that was the game of the week. Good job, Mark. Commissioner, good job. Man.
Yo, I lost a heartbreaker, but I think I had the closest loss. Go ahead, Aldo. What did you say?
No, yeah. So he has Gus, right? Which I think is pretty good. Even when he was with Ravens, he did. They had him for those goal line, plays and get him those TDs or whatever. But he also had who did I say from Tennessee that you said should go?
Calvin Ridley.
He did. On the bench and went off. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been worse.
Mark had him. On the bench, and he still scored 150 points.
He had Calvin gave him 24.70. So what? If you replaced him with Waddle,
don't give him any ideas,
man.
Don't give him any ideas.
But he does have Breece Hall. Breece Hall is good, man. Yeah, he has a good team.
Now I lost a heartbreaker. I think I had one of the closest losses this week. I lost 99.80 to 97.84. I just needed 2 points, literally just a 10-yard catch from Kyle Pitts on Monday night. And I was begging for Kirk O'Chain to throw Kyle Pitts the ball, but he just wouldn't. So that was a heartbreaker. I blame the Cowboys because I got -1 points from the Cowboys defense, which is insane. So I'm not a Cowboys fan, but they ended up fucking me too.
That's what we do. We fuck them. But man, that's a tough one, man, because I hate losing those close ones like that, man. I had one like that too. And then it got just out of hand once, Kirk O'Chain got involved and gave Drake London that go-ahead touchdown. Yeah. That killed me, man. I was playing John Alcatraz and company. And, man, I was scheduled to win that thing, man. But how am I going to win anything when Amari Cooper is not producing this year, man? For some reason, I cannot get that man to, get on the board for at least 8. Give me 8, please.
Who's your tight end?
Oh, some random. I didn't have the best draft when it came to tight end, so it is what it is. But I'm looking forward for my next matchup. I got to play Rick this week, so hopefully, I can put together a game and get back on track. We'll see what happens. Rick is formidable. We'll see what happens.
Rick and Eddie played each other last week. Hachili's Guns. That was a close game. It was only an 8-point difference, and Eddie ended up coming out on top. Eddie's dark horse, man. Eddie's 2-0 now, going into week 3.
Yeah, that's why I play this week. I play Hachili's Guns this week, and he's projected to win. But any given Sunday,
any given Sunday, baby.
I mean, my lineup's rough, but who
knows? We'll see if Justin Jefferson plays.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, and I mean Spears too, right? So we'll see what happens. But
his tight end's good, bro. McBride from Cardinals, he's so good. I was gonna snag him, and Eddie got him before I did. I was so pissed.
And what was a good game last week too was Rich and Nick, and that came down to the Monday night game. Came down to the last game.
Yeah, then, SA Fats, baby, SA Fats.
Hey, Nick's over here doing the Lord's work right here, man. Making sure we try to avoid the 4-peat if we can, man.
Everyone's ganging up on Richard this
I'm sorry,
year,
Richard.
Everybody.
You have a target on the back, man. But
he
Richard
really does.
Richard could bounce back. I mean, he scored 128. He had Alvin Kamara, so
even with Alvin Kamara, he lost,
bro. Even with Alvin Kamara, with Tua getting hurt, he lost. Yeah, so that was tough.
Hey, check this out. Nick had Jordan Love, and he had Tua, and they both got hurt.
Yeah. That's a good point, man. Tua gave him 5.5 and he still won. Dang,
James Cook, I'm telling you.
Alvin Kamara gave him 44 points, gave Rich 44 points and he still lost. Yeah. That's crazy. Kyle Murray? Come on.
Kyler Murray went crazy. Hey, James Cook, though. James Cook, 28.5 points.
Yeah.
See, Devontae Adams, 26 points for Nick. Devontae Smith.
But Kittle hooked him up.
George Kittle hooked him up. So that was a crazy game. I thought definitely whoever had Alvin Kamara was going to lose for sure, but he ended up coming out on top. So shout out to Nick beating the defending champ Richard to get him down to 0-2, baby.
Man, I will say this, man. Hey, Marvin Harrison Jr. Hey, if Rich starts Marvin Harrison Jr., we having a totally different conversation. He benched him.
Hey, he knows now.
Yeah, and you know what? I understand because Tyreek Hill, you don't expect Tyreek Hill to give you 6 points. What the fuck?
Well, you also don't expect Tua to die on the field.
Exactly. So it's tough, but he could possibly have a bounce back week, whoever he's playing. So you got to be on the lookout for Rich. He's still out there.
I mean, do we not expect Tua to get? I mean, I don't know.
We don't expect it.
You don't expect it, but I mean, it's starting to become a common thing for Tua.
It is, yeah. That's
You know what I'm
the sucky part.
But that is crazy. That Marvin Harrison, he had Marvin Harrison on the bench, which, I mean, week 1 he gave him 1.4 points. So
yeah,
I mean, it didn't show any like
promise,
right? But man, 29, that's crazy. That's a good game. I don't think I want to play either one of them, even though Rich is what, 12? That's last place.
Is he sitting in 12th right now?
He's in 12th right now. I know it's early. It's week 2.
Early.
Hey, but you know what? I like him back there.
Hey, we got to be careful because if this is all recorded, right, as it is on the podcast, he's going to come back to these episodes when he wins the league.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hey, you know what's going to be fucked up? Hey, you know, we're already planning, like, hey, if he's 12th place, man, we're going to definitely take him to Hooters and he's going to be a Hooters girl or some shit like that, like for punishment. Shit, that's going to flip if he ends up coming back.
Yeah, for sure. Going on to this week, we got some...
But I will say, I mean, once it comes up to where I have to play any of those two, whether it's Easy Taught Me or SA Fats, I mean, those are gonna be tough games. At least when it's my turn to play both of those teams. So it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be crazy, but I'm not looking forward to playing them.
Hey, but how'd you do on your game?
Dang, I did well. I beat who did I play? What's that team called? What's under the
What's under the towel?
What's under the towel? Isaiah. I mean, I beat him before the week was even over.
Nice.
I mean, it was. I think he had everybody play those first 10 games in Sunday. The first.
The first.
Yeah, so I think I was like, man, I didn't even have to worry about playing or watching the rest. But I did lose Debo. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens with Debo. So that's gonna be tough. White is questionable, but it was.
Mike Evans had a quiet game for him.
Yeah, 116 I did pretty good. That still wouldn't have been enough to beat Robin last week, but
yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's a good matchup though. At least you got the dub. What are you, 1-1?
1-1. I got Huchili's Guns next week. We'll see how that goes. He's projected to win again. Good team. So I mean, there's a lot of good teams, man. Any given Sunday, right? Anyone can win.
Any given Sunday,
and everybody's. I think this year, everybody drafted well.
Yeah.
I think everybody
solid teams. Yeah, all around.
Solid teams all around. Like I don't think anyone's gonna go consistently winning streak 3-4 win streaks. I think every game is gonna be a tough game, and it's fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, I agree. I got going into this week. I got Mark storm the court. We're going into week 3. I'm hoping he gets distracted because he's gonna be at the Saints-Eagles game this weekend. So no one let him know to update his roster and make any changes in fantasy. I'm gonna try and get the dub on him this week.
Yeah, hopefully like the app messes up or something like that, and Rick can't put his team up together too, man. I got Rick this week again, as I mentioned earlier, and we'll see what happens. I need a bounce back win. He's 0-2, so he needs a win too. I'm literally the Cowboys playing the Ravens this week, so we'll see what happens, man. Yeah. It's gonna be a good one. But I will also say my game of the week this week is actually gonna be the Dak Street Boys versus Huichi's Guns, man. It's a close one. It's 101 to 99, so it's a really close one with projections. Yeah, you got the 2-0 versus the 101. So that's gonna be our Family Feud game of the week, man.
Yeah, I like that. We got Isaiah facing Robin. We'll see how that goes with some of those injuries they have on their team. Then we got Richard versus Sosa. Richard sitting in 12th place, Sosa sitting in 5th place. I can't believe he squeezed that one out on me this past week, bro. I was so frustrated. And he didn't have CMC. I lost. But again, I blame the fucking Cowboys, bro. -1 points.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for me this week. It's number 6 versus number 2, so I got Huchili's Guns, and like Jesus was saying, he's projected to win 101 is 99. I mean, I like my odds though. I think Chicago is gonna play really well on defense. I got Baker this week.
You got Baker?
Hey, we'll see.
You're playing against him, or you have him?
No, I have him. See, he's the real deal against Denver. So
Denver,
I think he might.
Well, I'll say
know.
Denver's defense played well. Their offense isn't good.
Yeah, I'm looking for Evans to be hopefully be.
He had a quiet week last week.
He had a quiet week. I think he's
Godwin
hurt.
had a good week.
Yeah, Godwin's hurt, or Godwin was doing good, but I think Evans might be hurt. I don't know. I think I have to recheck, but
I wonder what Nick's gonna do. He has Jordan Love. Jordan Love's questionable, right? We don't know if he's gonna play yet, but he's out Tua and he's out Jordan Love. I wonder what his plan is going into this week. He faces John going into week 3.
Yeah, and
both 1-1.
I'm interested to see the Easy Tommy. I mean, I know it's Rich and he's 0-2, but he has a really good team, strong team, and he's projected to win next week. But I don't know. We'll see how Boomer Doom does because he has a pretty good team too. Stroud is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, his lineups.
He's not. I wouldn't say he's struggling in the running back area, but he has Tony Pollard. He has Brian Robinson from Washington. Tony Pollard's over in Tennessee. They did pretty well for him this past week. They did really good.
Yeah. And he still has. I mean, what's the word with Keenan? I mean, when does he come back? Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that can help him out as well.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. What other games do we have? And then we got Jesus.
And McCaffrey. He has a number 1 pick.
He does. He had the number 1 pick, and he got McCaffrey. He got the Madden curse.
We could have a whole different conversation. Oh, wait a minute. What did you say?
I told him to draft McCaffrey. It's inside move, baby. Inside move.
And it's the what?
Madden curse.
And didn't we tell him this that week
Y'all
too?
Y'all did talk about the Madden curse.
Madden curse.
And
it's real.
I said, nah, that's bullshit, bro.
I said it's real.
I said draft him. Take him.
Hey, like I said before, ask Peyton Hillis about that Madden curse. Ask him if that thing is real or not.
He said Peyton Hillis. You really do love the Browns. That's wild that you said Peyton Hillis. What the fuck?
Hey.
No, but like I said, like again,
who do you got this week?
I got Rich. Rick. Yeah, I got Rick.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, like again, like you know what I mean. He's looking for his first win, and I'm just looking to get back on track, man. So it's gonna be a good one. I have to worry about my running back A-Chain because they're gonna load the box. Mixon is hurt, so I will be probably replacing him with
Rico Dwindle.
Nah, hell no. I'm putting like Devin Singletary or some shit like that. I cannot trust the Cowboys running backs at all.
You already got Singletary in. Let me see.
Yeah, I think I already updated
your flex.
I already updated my lineup, but I mean that's the projected lineup, but I like to mess with it. So I got some work to do, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do as a coach. You know what I mean? As a football club manager, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So it's gonna be a good week.
It is gonna be a good week. I'm excited, man. Week 3.
Yeah, and I would keep an eye out on Mixon for sure. Just with that ankle.
Yeah.
See what happens. I mean, I know it's like week to week, and I don't know if he practiced, but I mean, you don't want to mess with the ankle's serious, especially for him.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man. Well, I'm excited for week 3. It's going to be a good slate of games. We'll try and catch all our games together this weekend, see how that goes. But I think that's a wrap here for today's episode of Brotherly Banter. We hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Give us a follow. We love all you guys. Thank you for listening. This has been fun. We're going into week 2. We're learning a lot more. So hopefully as we go on, this gets better. We're going to try and get some video going here in the next few weeks. So we'll see how that goes, man. But
we should be getting better quality here coming up soon. More structure. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully we get some couple of guests on here, you know what I mean, to talk football with y'all, talk sports. It's great. Just be on the lookout for that. Definitely make sure if y'all have any questions, definitely comment on the YouTube pages. We got the Apple podcast up too, so you can listen there, download those. We have Spotify, so anytime you want to listen, man, we appreciate it.
Yeah, and give us that feedback too. What we can do better, what we can help to improve, and make listening better for all y'all. And for those of y'all that are coming back to week 2, hey, enjoy y'all's time. Go watch some football. Enjoy some football this weekend. And those who are listening for the first time, welcome to the jungle, folks.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.